It is indeed a great pleasure to be here this morning to welcome all of you to this, I would say, a special public debate. It is something special to me on UN's intellectual history, which is a history of ideas, of thoughts, of some innovative thinking, ahead of the curve, out of the box thinking, all sorts of new thoughts and thinking with which I certainly would like to see UNCTAD very much being associated with.
Ideas represent the driving force in human progress, and our proposition is that they are one of the main contributions of the UN system. But of these 17 books, actually, I think it's fair to say, Richard, that 3 or 4 of them have large UNCTAD theme songs. There's not a book on UNCTAD. In fact, we didn't do an institutional history. We did a history of ideas.
The 9 UN ideas that changed the world. Human rights for all. Gender equality and women's rights. Development goals, not just the MDGs, but going back to UNESCO in 1960 when goals were set at that time. Fairer international economic relations, not free trade, of course, not free flows of investment or capital, fairer international economic relations, very close, of course, to UNCTAD's origins and UNCTAD's continuing concerns. Strategies for accelerating development in poorer countries, also very close to UNCTAD's continuing concerns. Priorities for social development, environmental sustainability, peace and human security, and human development, which in many ways brings many of these together. Yesterday, Juan Samavia gave us a wonderful quote. The role of the UN is to swim against the current, and he added, and to stick with these ideas until they do become acceptable. A key point I want to underline here with a question that's coming. The pioneering quality of UN work is often not realized. 9 Nobel Prize winners in economics have worked with the UN. I now come to my question. How many Nobel Prize winners in economics have worked for the World Bank? There's a shyness with such a large audience. I'll give you the answer. It's not naught, it's 1. Joe Stiglitz, remember he resigned. What needs to be done to strengthen the UN's intellectual contribution? We're moving to a multipolar world. We need to support fragile states. We need, and this has just been illustrated, to balance regionalism with globalization.
This book comes at the right time because this is a juncture of time, again, that we at UNCTAD has begun to question the orthodoxy at the moment. So in a series of meetings this year, Professor Jolly, we will be, particularly in our public symposium, we'll be looking at some ideas on what I have called the new development path. Because growth will be slower, there will be climate change policies, environment, trade liberalization that has not gone very fast, protectionism that hesitates, the decline of multilateralism, and the popularity of regionalisms and bilateral agreements and things like that. So we'll be looking at a new scenario, and I hope that our discussion this morning would point in the directions in which we can seek some salvation and shed more light on it.